only dealing with us. You get what I'm saying? So, where was we at? Give me that. Deuteronomy, right?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10 and verse 12. And now, Israel, what doth the Most High thy power require of thee?
So when you get into this knowledge, knowing you an Israelite, sister and brother, right? What does the Lord require of you is what?
But to fear the Lord thy God,
Fear the Lord.
to walk in all his ways,
Right.
and to love him, and to serve him. The Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. Verse 13. To keep the commandments.
To do what?
To keep the commandments.
To do what?
To keep the commandments.
So anybody know any commandments? You know any commandments, sister? What's commandments? Nah, it's not just 10.
With all your heart and all your might.
It's not just 10. It's not just 10. It's way more than 10. Let me get Exodus 20 and 10.
Is it 20?
Finish that up.
To keep the commandments of the Most High,
Right.
and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good.
Give me Ecclesiastes 13 and 12, real quick. You there? Give me that. 12 and 13, Shalaki.
We're coming from the book of Ecclesiastes,
Right.
chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Let us do what?
Hear the conclusion of the whole
Let
matter.
us hear the end all be all, right? Keep going.
Fear God,
Right?
fear God,
Fear the Most High, right?
and keep his commandments.
Why every time we look in the Bible it's saying keep his commandments? Because his commandments, not keeping his commandments, is what's put us in these lowest conditions, right? Last hire, you know what I'm saying? First fire, right? Getting shot in the back in the street for no reason, no justice, no peace, right? Not keeping the commandments is what put us in those conditions. So let's get a couple commandments to leave y'all with. Because the Lord said the conclusion is to fear the Most High and keep the commandments, right? So we know the 10 commandments, but it's more than 10. It's over 600 commandments in the Bible that was given to our people. Not for anybody else. Not for the white man. Give me Romans 9, right? Not for the white man, right? But for God's chosen people, these people on this sign, the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
We the ones getting oppressed, right? And the Lord says, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad. That's why we kind of upset about this thing right now, right? Hey, appreciate you for coming out. Let's get the brother and the sister in hand. Hey, we're not here to joke, play games. This is, this is life or death. Let's get some commandments then, because this life or death to see if our people keeping these commandments. Bring this up.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 5.
Bring it out.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man,
What pertains to a man, right? Bring this up. Keep on.
neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
So if we was up here in a bunch of dresses and skirts, would you take us serious? Would you even came up here in the first place? If we was up here in dresses and skirts, the Lord said the woman shall not wear that which pertains to a man, which is pants.
Right. But God says you cannot judge. You don't be judged. You can't nobody judge.
He said we got to judge a righteous judgment. Let me get that. A righteous judgment, if we see our people in sin, which is, bring this, keep on here.
Not our
Salaki.
responsibility.
This
We
is the
know
abomination to the Lord. Bring it up.
to help
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man,
Listen to this.
you say,
neither shall a man put on woman's garment. For all that do so,
All that do what?
all that do so are abomination unto the Most High thy God.
So this is life or death. So when you putting on pants, sister, you got to understand that the Lord hates it. The Lord, that's abomination. You know what abomination means? It's something that you hate, right?
It is.
So that's
It is.
something that the Most High hates. That's what the Bible just said,
What
right?
happened is that
You got what I
all right,
needed.
You got my scripture. You got my scripture. That I
You want me to read out?
Yeah, of course.
I just wanted to bring
Yeah.
this John.
No. We got to get on. What's that?
How you doing?
What did I ask him
I
for?
know I got pants on, but y'all understand why I got pants on. That's one thing about it. They do take
So
off-
sis, will you take off them pants and start putting on dresses for the Most High? Not for us.
I'm wearing dresses.
You wear dresses, but you gotta stop wearing pants, sister.
I mean,
Please, hey sister, We out here for free for you to tell you that, right? So we can get delivered from this oppression,
That's right.
Because our people still sinning. That's why we in these conditions, right?
It might be, you're right. It might be something that's minute, but it makes a difference. You're right.
What you mean?
understand
What you mean by that?
Minute means
Small.
nobody
Most
cares
High
about
said if you
it.
break one command, you break them all.
Right.
But
But we
it's
do
a real
understand
concern.
that the women started wearing pants when? Not too long ago, right? In the 1950s. Was that?
Well,
When was that, brother?
Yeah, it was,
Women,
it was when
women.
they- it was when
Yeah.
he had the little
The-
arm and he was.
The women's rights, right?
The women's empowerment movement
the
of the
women's
50s.
empowerment movement.
And that was
to where
started
they
by
could
the
wear
white
their-
woman.
They started by who?
The white woman, Amelia Bloomer.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it, like, women won't just around here walking around with pants.
You wore dresses.
You wore a dress, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right?
James, if you don't
I'm not
mind,
supposed to wear no dress, right? The Lord said you're not supposed to wear no dress, right? But we ain't getting on, because, hey, all men fall short of the
She
glory
said
of God,
she has a need.
right?
She has a need. And we involved. You know, we're talking about
We talking
how
about
many,
what the Lord said.
I understand, but we're talking about 1,000 years ago. 1,000 years ago.
So you gotta do what, if you know, you gotta be a doer of the law, right?
When we
And
learn-
not just a hearer, right?
we learn-
That's what the word says.
Look, when we learn, when we
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25 and verse 2.
Yep.
And it shall be, if the wicked man be worthy to be, Salaki, 25 and 1. If there be controversy between men, and they come into judgment, that the judges may judge them, then they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked.
And do what?
And condemn the wicked.
So our sisters having pants, that's wickedness, according to the Most High, right? So we gotta judge a righteous judgment. We can't just judge you off of anything, but it gotta be a righteous judgment. That means if we see our people in sin, we have to tell them the sin that they're breaking. Sin not, right?
And James, that's what I was trying to show
And what
you.
is sin?
James
right?
2:22 through 24.
What is sin? Let's get that. 1 John
What do you mean? James 2,
3 and 4.
22 through 24. I'm going to show you how.
We're coming from the first book of John, chapter 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin,
Whosoever do what?
committeth sin, transgresseth also the law.
Okay.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
For sin is what?
The transgression of the law.
So sin is the transgression of the law. The law say we can't put on dresses and the woman can't wear pants. So that's why we got to tell our people when they in sin not.
That's
Right?
right.
Because these little sin, the least commandments, right, is keeping us in these conditions. That's the precept?
Yeah, Matthew
So, let me
5:17.
tell you what you're doing. You're planting the seed right now.
Uh.
You're planting the seed in our minds. It doesn't mean that we're going to
Yeah, immediately.
automatically
Right,
happen.
right.
Exactly.
But you're going to think about it. And that's what we want. That's exactly right.
And then it's up
You're
to
right.
God to nurture
It's
it.
up to the Most High to put it on your spirit. So, okay, do I need a, you know what I'm saying? Do I want my people to get out of these conditions? That's really what it's about.
We want to get back to the...
Rulership and righteousness.
Right. That's right.
Right?
So James says what now?
Let me
James
see.
2.
What's that?
Matthew 5:17.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 17.
Thank you.
Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, to what? Till heaven and earth pass,
So we still see the heavens and earth is still here, right? Keep going.
one jot or one tittle.
One jot, the least of the commandments. Wearing pants, sister, right? Not shaving your beard, eating pork, shellfish, lobster. That's in the law, right? Keep going.
Or one tittle
Uh-huh.
shall in no wise pass from the law.
Now what?
Pass from the law
Uh-huh. Keep going.
till all be fulfilled.
All be fulfilled. Keep going. It's more than that.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of the least commandments
Uh-huh.
and shall teach men, so he shall be called the least in the kingdom of
So
heaven.
whosoever shall break one of these least commandments and teach men so, the Christian pastor, right? Teaching people the law is done away with when it's not. That should be what?
He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Gonna be least in the kingdom of heaven. But read on.
But whosoever shall do
Shall do. We wearing our fringes. We coming out here teaching our people. We doing these law, statutes, and commandments, right? Keep going.
and teach,
And teach. We teaching it to our brothers and our sisters, right? Keep going.
them the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
All praises to the Most High. That's the word, right? Bring this up.
Like I said, that's what God put down there.
All praises, sister. All praises.
And it takes y'all
Gotta work on some. Listen, we all do.
Like the big thing going, and let everybody know where it's going, but what's going about.
That's right,
What it's all
sister.
about.
So, sister, before you leave, Salaki, what's your nationality? What's your race, right?
I raised black.
You black, so-called black. Are you the color of this brother's jacket? That's the color out of a crayon, right? Before you was black, you was what? Afro-American,
I'm
right?
American.
We done had
African American.
5 different nationalities as so-called black people since we've been over here, right? But we're here to tell you, okay? We're here to tell you, right? You are a Israelite. That's what the Lord called us. You are an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. So when you leave here, I want you knowing, sister. That's why I come out here, for you to tell you that you're an Israelite from the tribe of Judah and to keep the commandments, right? And die with that in your heart. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord is going to deliver your soul.
Oh, yes.
Same with you. You are Israelite from the tribe of Ephraim, right?
part, right.
And keep the commandments.
That part.
Now I'm saying,
Yeah.
I'm going in the way.
Bring this up.
I got one more for y'all.
Okay.
We're coming from the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 3.
Bring it up.
For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh,
Right?
who are
You
Israelites,
are what?
who are Israelites,
So the Lord didn't say y'all was black people, Hispanic people, Puerto Rican people. He said who are Israelites, right? So what?
to obtain the adoption
The adoption, the grafting in, right? What else?
and the glory
And the glory of the Most High. What else?
and the covenants
And the covenants, the old and the new covenant, right? Bring this out.
and the giving of the law
And the what?
and the giving of the law.
The giving of the law, not eating pork, sisters wearing dresses, right? Not eating self. Elder gotta stop shaving. All that is in the law, right? The giving of the law was who pertained to the Israelites, right? Keep going.
In the service of God,
And the what?
in the service of
So
God,
the Bible just said even only those people on this side can only serve the Most High in righteousness and in truth, right? Bring this out.
and the promises.
And the promises, right? The Lord coming back to put destruction on this place. That's a promise for us, for the Israelites who are Israelites.
That's
So
right.
who pertaineth these things that we just said to you, right? So if you're not an Israel, you better be hoping you're an Israelite in these last days, man.
right.
And that's the only people we're coming out here for, right? The so-called black people, the so-called Hispanic people, and the so-called Native American people. We only coming out there for them, right? Give me Luke 4:17. That's the only people Jesus came out there for. The gospel. You know what the gospel is? We're about to give you the gospel right now. Luke 4:17, right? Because Jesus only came out for so-called black people, people who are being oppressed. He wasn't out there for everybody, right?
Christ was a black man from the hood.
Man, Christ was from Nazareth.
That's what my mama said.
You know what I'm saying? That was the hood, the lowest conditions. That's where Jesus Christ was from, right? And Jesus Christ was type racist. He only cared about his people. That's what we out here doing. Because we the only people need salvation, right? Give me that.
We're coming from the book of Luke, chapter 4, verse 17. And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah.
So there was delivered unto Christ the book of the prophet Isaiah, right? Isaiah is just a Greek word for Isaiah, right? Because we can go to what? Give me Isaiah 31 and 31. Is it? No, Isaiah 31 and 1. Give me Isaiah 31 and 1. Bring this out.
And when he had opened the book,
When the Messiah opened the book,
he found the place where it was written.
okay,
18. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me,
right?
because he hath anointed me to preach the
To
gospel.
preach what?
To preach the gospel.
The Spirit of the Lord was upon the prophet Isaiah, right? To preach the gospel. What is the gospel? We're about to tell you.
To the poor.
To the who?
To the poor.
To the rich man.
To the poor.
To the white rich man.
To the poor.
To the oppressor.
To the poor.
To the poor. The gospel is for the poor, right? Keep going.
He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted.
The who?
The brokenhearted.
Keep going.
To preach deliverance to the captive.
The who?
To are captives.
What people is in captivity right now, man? The people on this sign.
That's
All
right.
the people on this sign is in captivity of their oppressor's nation right now to this day.
All right, I'm gonna leave this with y'all.
Huh? Give me this. Bring this out. Bring this out real quick. We're not done on this. Let's bring this out.
James 2:22.
We got to bring out this knowledge real quick for you, because you listening. Your spirit bear witness.
You're reading from the Bible.
Right.
I'm just giving you something from the Bible.
Come on. We gonna get it. We gonna get it. We gonna get it. All praise. So look, we gonna get your scripture, right? What scripture you want? I see it. What's
2:22 through 24.
James what? Somebody get what he want.
James 23. It's when he talking about Abraham the friend.
James 2:22 through 24.
Okay.
Read on that.
And recovery of sight to the blind.
What?
Recovery of
Okay.
recovery from the book of Luke.
No, recovering sight. Just give me that.
Okay. And recovery of sight to the blind,
But people can't see who they are right now. Our
That's
people,
right.
Right?
to set at liberty them that are bruised,
Right?
to preach the acceptable year of the Lord.
The year of the Lord, right? So give me Isaiah 14:1.
That's right.
Right? Because we gotta connect the precept. We gotta connect the dots in this Bible. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, right?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you do what you gotta do.
We're coming from the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on
The
Jacob.
Lord gonna have mercy on who?
On Jacob.
On who?
On Jacob.
And what?
And will yet choose Israel.
Will choose who?
Choose Israel.
Who?
Choose Israel.
People on this side.
Choose
Blacks,
Israel.
Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Lord gonna choose you. What? Bring it out.
And set them in their own
And
land.
do what?
And set them in their own
To
land.
be set in our own land because we in the white man's land right now.
That's right.
Bring this out.
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
In the who?
And the strangers shall be joined with
In
them.
the what?
And the strangers shall be joined with them.
Strangers, the people who are not Israelites, the people not on this sign, going to be joined in with us for what?
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Right?
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
Right? Keep going.
And they shall take them captives.
What?
They shall take them
Bring
captives.
that out one more time. They should do what?
And they shall take them
Captives.
And what?
And they shall take them captives whose captives they were.
Whose captives they were. So the people who had us in captivity, we gonna have them in captivity.
That's right.
Right? It's only right. It's judgment. It's so-called karma. What goes around comes around,
That's
right?
right.
So all praises to the Most High for the edification of the brother and the sister,
Right.
right? We gonna do this. And Kwame Yashala,
Warm yourself.
right? And we're gonna have the next powerful brother come up and preach his word through the spirit power of the Hamashiach
All
Yahushua.
praise, all praise, man. Beautiful. Got the elders going. Got the elders to work.
Oh, praise.
All praises. Give it up for the brother one more time, man. Spoke mighty in the spirit. Spoke mighty in the spirit. Spoke mighty in the spirit. Right? Like the brother was saying, you know, Israel is the only one that has salvation. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans,